already working? All of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything is on. No, start now. Yeah.
Can we start again? I'm Tobi. I'm a software developer, software architect. I'm passionate for solving problems. I love diving and the ocean. And I started a marine conservation project where I go diving and show people the ocean to raise awareness for marine conservation. Aside of that, I have a couple of other projects. I have a German finance blog. I work on some software projects, and yeah, I just enjoy the surroundings. Sometimes it is hard, but I think it's important just not to start everything at the same time, and then to have a good schedule and know what to do and what to outsource, and just grow into it. Not start with 5 things at the same time, but start with one, and when it works and you can retreat from that project, you can just start the next one, what inspires you. And also it's important to have a good schedule so that you plan your days ahead and that you are efficient with what you are doing. Currently I'm working for a German startup as a remote software developer, and the traveling just came naturally. I was living in my hometown for around 28 years, and when I had this remote job and realized, I can also travel and work from somewhere else, I just started to do this for one trip to South Africa, and then I realized, if I would not have my apartment in Germany, it would not cost even more money to travel full-time. So the next thing I did when I was back in Germany was just to quit my apartment and start traveling. It was the first time traveling out of Europe and working outside of Europe. I had a trip to South Africa before, but never worked there, so I was very excited about it, and I had a lot of questions like, would the internet be fast enough? Would everything work well? Can I really work from there? And will my colleagues be annoyed by this or not? So I was only booking the trip for 6 weeks, and I planned everything ahead, and I thought, okay, if it doesn't work, I can just take all my full year vacation in the 6 weeks, and then I maybe can come back and never try it again or something. But yeah, it worked apart from some things that didn't work so well. It worked very well, and the first day when I started working, my colleagues asked me, are you already in South Africa? So they didn't even notice in our calls that I was working from there, and that was the moment when I realized, that's it. What was definitely true is that I enjoy working in beautiful places, and that I enjoy having sun, especially that I feel more happy when I'm not in the rainy Germany or snowy, cold Germany in winter times. That was true. From the fear that I had, that was mostly about the internet. That turned out not to be true. The internet was good enough, at least in the places where I am. But there were a lot of unexpected things that went wrong that I didn't see before the trip. For example, when I arrived in South Africa, my luggage didn't arrive. And I arrived there after 24 hours of traveling, and the first 3 days I just had the clothes that I was wearing on the trip from Germany, so warm clothes, nothing to change. And also I had a lot of meetings in the first days, so I couldn't even go out and buy something. So that was a bit annoying, but at the end everything turned out well. The other thing that happened was that we didn't have electricity in some times because there was not enough water in South Africa, and so they didn't generate enough energy, and for 12 hours a day we didn't have electricity, and I ended up jumping between districts to find electricity to work. So I was worried about the internet, but I never thought electricity could be a problem. But in the end it was, but also it wasn't, because we found a solution for that. Definitely, it's a beautiful country, the people are nice, it's English speaking, which is easy for people to get around, for many reasons.
It's going great so far.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we still recording?
Here, and we just start. Almost amazing. Now it's amazing. Okay.
Yeah, is it good?
Back with Tobi.
At the beginning they didn't say much. My mother was actually encouraging me to do this when I came back from South Africa, and I said, maybe I should quit my apartment and start traveling full-time. She was like, well then quit it now, otherwise you won't do it. So that was a very nice surprise. I didn't expect that. Of course they want to see me more in Germany, but otherwise they can understand it, and I encourage some of them to travel more, like my mother and my father. They are now traveling more than before. And that's really nice. Friends, they are, whatever, you can do what you want. They like the idea, but they don't feel comfortable to do it themselves.
So are they seeking for advice maybe? Sometimes they're asking you how it is like to travel like that and work?
Yeah, some of them, but most of them I think they are not so much into traveling full time, only for vacation and so. Yeah, I mean, just try it out. It's not that you can never go back. It's easy to start traveling for some time and just try out if it is for you. It's of course not only fun and not only easy. There are also the real problems of life that you have at home. They are not staying at home. Like you need to buy food, you need to do your work, you need to cook, maybe to clean. These things, they are still there. Maybe sometimes you find other people who can help you with that, but in general, you still have to do your life. It's not like a vacation, because that's, I think, a mistake that many people do. They think, oh, I know I was in this place for 2 weeks vacation and that was amazing, so now I go there and I work there and it will be the same. But it's very different. On some days I'm working so much that I don't even leave the house, I just work. And then after 3 days I realize, oh, I have the ocean in front of my house, but I've never been there since 4 days or so. But yeah, that's, I mean, we are all responsible how we plan our times and what we do, so that's on my own. So I would really recommend just to try it out, and if you don't like it, change the place or go back if you really don't like it. But I haven't met many people who really said, no, I tried it and it's not for me. For one word, I would say consciousness. Because in contrast to living in one place, we need to make a lot of conscious decisions, like where do I want to live next month, with which people do I want to live, what do I want to do here, what can I do here. These things change, so I think we will live our life much more conscious and think, do I really like this place or should I move on? Yes, I am.
But I assume it doesn't come easy, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a series of decisions that I have made at some point. So, and it also comes with some downsides. For example, not seeing family or some friends. I mean, I have friends all over the world, but I cannot see them all the time or anytime. I just need to plan it, make more effort to stay in contact. And sometimes it's even lonely. If you are traveling alone and you are living alone, then in a new place, it first takes time to connect to people and have friends there and feel that this is really your home place. So. And it has all its pros and cons, and even though it might look good, it also comes with sacrifices for sure. Moin moin!
Okay.
You want me to tell more?
I just thought it's like a phrase.
Oh, that's a phrase. Passend zum Thema würde ich sagen, selbst der längste Weg beginnt mit dem ersten Schritt. Und egal wie schwierig es für euch scheinen mag, als digitale Nomade zu starten, versucht es einfach, geht los und macht es. Und die Sachen ergeben sich, ihr wächst in das Thema rein. Sachen, die euch jetzt Angst machen, die werden viel einfacher, wenn ihr es erstmal macht. Und irgendwann ist es euer ganz normaler Lebensstil. Yeah, it's definitely much harder than when you're in the same place, because you need someone who really matches. Both of you are living your life more consciously and know what you want and what you don't want, and then it's not so easy just to stay around because you don't know what else to do with life, but you need to think, do I really want to travel together? Or sometimes you might just have a couple of weeks to get to know a person, and then it's sometimes difficult to say, okay, is this the person, or should I move on, or should I stay longer? It's more difficult, yeah, definitely.
Would you recommend? Would you recommend trying at least?
Of course, I mean, what's the alternative? Die alone?